My name is Caroline Ross. I'm the chair of the statewide Retired Workers Chapter of UAW Local 6000. I've heard from many retirees that they cannot make it to our meetings. Well, to help you with that, we videotaped this meeting for you to see. This was an important recent meeting at the local, and our guests there were John Bradigan from the State Department of Treasury and Lori Ash-Smith from the State Department Employees Benefits Department. Due to the length of the meeting, we will be uploading clips over a period of time. And remember, you can always find a list of the retiree benefits by contacting UAW Local 6000 Benefits Rep at 1-800-243-1985 or call the State of Michigan Office of Retired Services at the number that they gave you using the code that they gave you when you retired. Meetings here in Lansing are on the third Thursday of every month. They begin at 10:30. In Saginaw, the fourth Wednesday of every month, they begin at 11. And in Detroit, on the first Monday, and they begin at 10. We hope to see you there soon. Take care.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have a moment of silent prayer, please? Thank you.
Need one?
Can I get one more?
Yes, certainly.
Okay.
Okay. As you know, this bulletin kind of goes, you've seen it before, it doesn't change a lot. We bring it out every September because the rate changes typically in September. If you're on Medicare, you probably don't even look at it because you don't pay for your insurance anyway as a retiree. So it's mainly the 365s that look at it, or if you're in an HMO, the HMO will change. But if you're a Medicare recipient, you're not paying anything, so you kind of don't pay a lot of attention to the rate. We do hope, though, that you do read the inside materials. A lot of them we duplicate every year. The reason we do that is you probably know that if you're eligible for Medicare, you must sign up for A and B or it's detrimental. We'll sanction your claim. We'll only be paying what Medicare would have paid. You're on the hook for the rest with 80%. That's a benefit that you don't want to miss. So we keep putting it in there because we know that most people listen to retirees that are already in the field, retired. And so we want you to keep reminding people, when you're eligible for Part A and B, you need to sign up for A and B. Don't decline it, or you're going to have trouble with your supplemental Blue Cross plan that goes around it because they're not going to pay. We will sanction the claims because it is truly just a supplemental. So some of the information is repetitive. Some of the information in it is mandatory. We have to do it by federal guidelines, ACA and those kinds of things. And then the changes of the plan design is what people are mostly interested in. Not a lot of changes this year, but there are some. So we have implemented, effective October 1, telemedicine. For anybody in that's pre-65, it isn't for Medicare recipients, and you probably wonder, well, why didn't you give it to the Medicare, people that are on Medicare? The reason we did not is because CMS, who runs Medicare, says that if you're going to do telemedicine with Medicare and bill, then you must see your telemedicine provider in a doctor's office. Well, we put in telemedicine for individuals so they didn't have to get out and go to a doctor's office. That was the purpose of it, so it kind of was counterintuitive. CMS is looking at that, though. I could not venture to tell you a date that they may make a change, but there is some publications out there that they're looking at it and they may make a change. When that occurs, certainly this will probably go to the Medicare population also. This was also put in the mental health benefit. So on the active side and the pre-65s who are going to be able to use it, what it's done for them is there's pockets in Michigan that don't have providers. They just don't live there. It's areas that don't attract people to live. Some is in the UP, some is in Upper Michigan. There's just little pockets around Michigan where that happens. The telemedicine for us to have a counseling session with your provider, I think will be very helpful to fill some of those gaps of coverage where we've had it. So, just wanted to kind of explain that a little bit. Smoking cessation counseling, we've always had that. It's just been partnered now with MedMD with Blue Cross. It's a much more interactive, web-based program to assist people who really want to stop smoking. They just don't stop smoking. The hearing aid discount we actually put in it before this. It was just bargained with the active population for the actives to have a hearing discount. Of course, our claims for hearing aids is not in the active side. There are some, but the bigger population that uses hearing aids is the retired. So we put it in early on the retired side. We actually reiterated it here because True Hearing did that. It's a discount program through the Blues, True Hearing. They sent a mailer out to the retirees. It confused retirees because retirees get a lot of mail about hearing. Because I've approached that age, I get them too. I guess they just assume you can't hear, so I've gotten them from multiple providers. So you don't really know which one is the one that goes with your plan, because some of them don't. So you're going to get another mailing down the line on it from Blue Cross, though, this time, so that you know that it actually is with your plan as a discount program. And they're also going to send out what other discount programs that they have, so you're aware of them. Prescription frame allowance, it went up. Used to be $74.20 or something like that, but it's increased to $100 now. So if you need glasses you don't have to pay as much out of pocket. Still $750 co-payment, but the allowance for the frame is now $100. Occlusion guard, another name for that is a bite splint. It's a dental. A lot of people wear them at night because they clinch or grind. Probably not a lot of retirees. You don't have so much stress probably. But it used to be one in a lifetime. It's now one every 5 years. So it's an excellent, it's an excellent benefit for an enhancement. Also, Health Plus merged with HAP. It was an acquisition that happened out there. It's nothing that the state did. They just made the determination and HAP purchased Health Plus. That's transitioning. Anybody that is a retiree that is Medicare eligible, you've been reached out to, it's probably not, we had very few, so there's probably not any in this room. They're not automatically going to HAP. They do get to make an election. If they didn't want HAP, they want to do different HMO or go into the Blue Cross plan, they can do that at this time. They've been notified to know that they can do that. And that's effective 1/1 because of the Medicare rules around Medicare Advantage program, which we have. So, just some of the highlights of the changes this time. The rest of the bulletin I'm not going to go through. You can certainly read it at your leisure because I know it'll probably be of big interest. Can't wait to get home and read that, I'm sure. So let me go through, questions, okay.
Before you move on.
Sure.
Going back to the very first page, so that everybody understands the retirees without and the retirees with Medicare, select retire, going into the system. Does everybody have to go into the system to do one or the other?
What she's referring to, did everybody hear the question? On the first page, we're talking about our web page on employee benefits and how to get to, if you're considering making a change, so you can get some information before you make that change. If you are on Medicare, you would want to select that you are a retiree with Medicare so that you get the proper information that goes with what your situation is. And if you're not on Medicare, then you would want to click that one for zip codes to see what's offered for you. So that's kind of what it's a research tool if you're thinking of making a change.
I have two questions.
I've got one here. Yes.
On your hearing aid discount, at this moment, I don't need it, but I have another state employee retired who's older than me, she's in like 70, 75. How much are hearing aids basically starting off with, or do you pay the whole thing, or what?
The question is what do we pay right now for a hearing aid? And you can still go to Blue Cross and Blue Shield through the Blues plan to get your hearing aid if that's what you choose. You don't have to use this discount program. This is just an add-on that you would save money if you choose to do this. I didn't bring materials totally around this to surround this question, but currently we pay $24.75, don't quote me, but it's in that 2,475 or 74, it's in that range for 2 hearings. So if you only need 1, we pay half of that. We do not pay for deluxe hearing aids. What True Hearing has done is gone directly to 3 manufacturers that make hearing aids, and they have them made for them under a different name, and they discount it. And then, but if you're going to go through True Hearing, you have to call them to set up for the doctor and the whole 9 yards. So your first initial appointment to see if you need them, you have to go to their provider. It's nothing out of pocket for that portion of it. If it depends on the hearing aid that you need or you select. If you go for more deluxe, it's going to be more out of pocket, but it's a lot less out of pocket than if you went through the Blue Cross plan.
Okay, and after you have a frame allowance, and what about the actual lens?
She said she saw we had a frame allowance. She said, what about the lens allowance? Lenses and frames are always a $7.50 copay.
That's $75, $7.
$7.50 for lenses. And we pay progressive, we pay transition. So it's other add-ons like UV coatings and those kinds of things aren't paid for if you choose to have those, but we pay for glasses for.
Do you have places that we could go, because like 2.5 years ago, I ran from here to there, to there, to there, and
She asked me if we have places that you can go, because she's had, in the past, apparently had trouble with that. It's Blue Cross, and if they participate,
places did not.
we've not heard that, so, you can go on the web and
I'm working on that now.
okay, you can pull out your Blue Cross card, and on the back there's a number. They will assist you in finding, locating a provider that will. Okay, okay.
Questions?
Yes.
First question is, I became confused and saw this because I received information saying it was sign-up time for insurance, and I was retired. Is that our sign-up time as well, or do we just ignore that?
She said she got confused in August because she received a mailing that it was sign-up time for insurances, but she's retired. I don't know why you would have gotten a sign-up time, because we pull that list from active state employees to mail for only active open enrollment. So I don't know how you're on the active receiving a paycheck and getting our mailing if you're retired, but we need to really look into that.
I'm not getting a paycheck.
Because that's actually how we pull the data.
Okay.
It goes with
And
a paycheck.
I would call it HR to fix that.
No, I can look into it. You just give me your name and I'll,
Okay.
because I can go back to the mailing list and see how we got it.
And
And retirement does not have an open enrollment period. They have a rolling 6 months. So if you change your plan today, you can send retirement a form, they have their form, and tell them you want to change to year and a half, you want to change to Blue Cross. 6 months from today, that will become effective. If 7 months from today, you want to switch again, you do it all over again and it becomes effective again in another 6 months. So it's it's a rolling 6 months, so from the time that you do it, there is no open enrollment for retirees.
thank you.
You're welcome.
The second question that
I
I
think
had.
the issue with Terry might have been, when she retired, she was working for the union, not for the state.
She was on leave,
She was on 7D leave, which means she was working for the union.
but receiving a pension.
And then when she
Were you receiving a
retired,
pension?
I retired.
but she was full-time working for the union when she retired. And so they may have had her coded wrong in the computer.
Could be.
My second question
Sure.
was, on your retirement monthly rates, some folks are defined contribution, they never had the opportunity for the other. Does this apply to them as well, or do they have a whole different breakout for their, because, for example, 75%?
Her question is, for the DCers that have graduated in, and it's only a group of DCers, because if you hired in from January 12, 2012 on, you actually don't get any health insurance. You get a $2,000 lump sum or something thrown in an account to buy your own for retirement. I don't know how much you can buy with $2,000, but good luck. So the gap of 1997, March of 97, when it went from DB to DC, to that 2012 group, there is a different rate. It's a graduated rate based on your years of service, and retirement handles that, and they don't mail that out, they have it on their webpage. So these rates don't pertain, because the front of the bulletin all says to DB retirees, does not pertain to any DC retiree. It does pertain, though, to a DB that transferred to DC because they didn't get the graduated rate. So I don't want to get people confused or too complicated here, but
Thank you.
that's what it is. Yeah. You had a question?
Yes, in terms of the benefits for the HMOs and other programs, and Part B, how does that impact military retirees or military personnel who have access to
Striking?
TRICARE for life?
And to not get this all kind of too complicated, they do, it depends on what the feds say that you can be in. It still would be a wrap. Who's primary and who's secondary then is determined by rules that CMS determines for that. So if the feds will not let you be in Medicare, won't sign up for it, because they give you another plan, like the railroad, there's a railroad retirement, so you do the railroad as opposed to Medicare, then that one becomes primary for you and ours becomes the rest. Now, if you have three, if you're telling me you have three, CMS allows you to sign up for Part A and B, and they offer you TRICARE, and you have ours for a wrap, then NAIC rules determine who's primary, but Medicare would be primary because you're not in a large group active. Who's secondary and tertiary depends on the length of the plan that you've had those plans for. So
But bottom line is, I need to talk with the.
you're overinsured. Bottom line is you're overinsured. It's going to mess you up probably.
Really?
Yeah, if you have to.
Oh, then I do need to talk to somebody quick.
Yeah. Yeah, because it just gets really complicated.
Who do I talk to regarding this?
You can call me and I can see if I can sort it out. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
ASAP.
yeah. My name, yeah. You'll get my voicemail probably, but I'll call you back. I always do. Lori Schmidt. My direct line is 373-9211. And I can,
517?
yeah, 517. And I can look you up and see kind of what we can see and figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Pam?
I'm on Medicare and then I can move on to computer. If I was to move out of state permanently, my insurance would still go with me.
Yes, the question was, she's on Medicare and has the blues, and if she moves out of state, her insurance will go with her, and the answer is yes. Yep.
So the only thing I'd have to do is
Change your
my
address.
address.
Yep, change your address so that you get information. Yep, we have a lot of retirees out of state.
What about moving out of the country?
And we don't cover out of country, neither does Medicare, so you would lose your coverage. Only if you're traveling and it's emergent or urgent would we pay a claim out of country. But if you move and you make your residency out of country, you lose Medicare and you lose your receipt. So you would have to figure out what you're going to do in that country you live in, if they have some national health care or something. Yeah.
If you're traveling out of the country and get sick, you have to go to their hospitals with Blue Cross Medicare.
So if you're traveling out of country with Blue Cross pay and you get sick, and that is what I was trying to say, and I'm sorry that I didn't say that very clearly, is if you travel out of the country, you have an urgent or emergent situation. So you can't travel out of the country and decide to have a surgery in that country. We will not pay for that. So if it's an urgent or emergent situation, then yes. If you have to get the claim, you have to pay in advance, it's a reimbursement, you have to have it translated if you're in a country that doesn't speak English, because we don't have those things. So it'd be on you to get all of that for us to be able to pay the claim.
I've got a follow-up question to hers. I was out of state when I had an injury, and the Blue Cross covered only according to the state Blue Cross that I was in, not Michigan Blue Cross.
That's correct.
Can you explain?
Why they do that?
Yeah.
Because Blue Cross has been an association, and so no matter, all of our retirees that are out of state, live out of state, all their claims go through that state's Blue Cross. And then if there's anything extra that's supposed to go, it gets bumped to the home state. So it's a process that, it's, all insurance companies do that. Aetna does that, Cigna does that, they all do that. They do it in the home state of where it is.
But I didn't, okay, the home state of where it happened.
Yep, where it occurred.
Yes.
Yep, and on the back of it, you have a blue card. On the back of your Blue Cross card, there's a blue card number, so you can even get information if that occurs. Of course, if it's urgent, you go to the nearest hospital. If it's emergent, because I got a sinus infection, I just need some antibiotic, if you call the blue card number on the back, they'll tell you who's participating in that state that's closest to you, so that you do get a participating provider of that. Any other questions? Good questions, yeah.
Well, I'm not retired yet, but
Neither am I.
Hopefully.
But soon.
yes. But right now I have Blue Care Network, and I have Medicare hospitalization only. After I retire, what do I have to do?
Question was, he's currently not retired, he's an active state employee. He's eligible for Medicare, so he declined B when he got his card. He got his red, white, and blue card. He had to physically say, I don't want B. And so they declined it, but they started his A. So he has a start date for A. He has no date in the mark system of CMS for B. Now now he wants to retire. What does he do? 2 months prior to the retirement effective date, you need to go to the Social Security office and sign up for B. You have to do it in certain time frames so you get because the feds say that we have to do that because we're in an EGWIP on the drug side of our plans, and you have to have an opportunity to opt out 21 days. So you have to sign up, prove it to retirement that you have A and B, and then you just merely move along and Medicare becomes primary for you.
All right. Can that be done online, or do you have to actually go into it?
There is a form online that the feds require you to complete, that you give to your employer to complete. The My Service Center completes that because they want to know when that date is that they retired and came out of that active large group into their retired group. And what another trickling effect of that is their secondary payer rules for CMS. They'll come back on me if those dates aren't correct, and take money from the budget, the big budget that the feds give, if we paid claims incorrectly, if they paid and they shouldn't have and we should have. So it's important to get that all done, because the feds have no rules of how far back they can go, it seems, so they audit and come after us years down the line. So it is really important to do that. Good question. Anything else? Yeah.
If a person goes to emergency and they don't keep it, you pay for it, that's part of it right there. Or people are in emergency and they moved you out of this room and they put you in another room where there's only 2 people in there. You don't realize you're still in an emergency. You think you're in a room and you're there 2 days or so. And you get a bill, do you argue with the hospital or do you argue with Blue Cross? Because you're thinking you're in the hospital, but you're not, you're just being observed, and then they let you go.
Her question is, if you go to ER and you're not admitted, do you have to pay? Yep, you have a $200 co-payment for a non-admitted ER service. What hospitals do a lot of times, and I have no control over this, and probably neither do you, is they don't admit you, they do put you in observation. They bill that claim as observation, so you've not been admitted, and yes, it's a $200 copay. Yep.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that you're just being observed. You think you're in a hospital room,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's how they get you.
Lori, I have a question back
It's all over.
I got this one online. It says, after retirement, you are fired from a part-time job and unemployment has to go back to the previous employers to qualify you for a quarterly income. The SOM says you can't use their income because you left, retired on your own. And she wants to know, she feels that that's unfair.
Is unemployment?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about unemployment. I would probably mess her up more. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything. I can't answer that. I have one back here. Okay.
I thought that emergency thing was $50. If I paid $50 before, when did it change to $200?
If you're Medicare at 60 or Medicare MA, are you in an HMO MA?
No, I'm in Blue Cross.
Oh.
And I've always paid $50. And I've been an observation patient several times.
It's been changed 3 or 4 years ago. Well, I don't know. Ed probably knows better than me. When the negotiations, what year did it change to $200? It was when Bonneville was here, right?
2 contracts ago.
2 contracts.
Is that an
ago.
ORS question?
Yeah, it was when the state switched over to when we merged the whole plan into
I think that would be an ORS question.
I have heard through the rumor mill, and you know what rumor mills are, that some hospitals just don't bill it. I don't know if that's true or false, I've only heard of that. I can't believe that they wouldn't, because it's in violation of their contracts with all the insurance companies, but you may have gotten lucky that way, I don't know.
Okay, I was just wondering, because I've always paid $50 for it. I've never paid $200 before.
It's been changed quite a while.
Yeah, it was changed quite a while ago. Yes, ma'am.
Comment more. I have had the unfortunate opportunity to be in the hospital quite a bit the past year. And I asked the doctors, am I here as an admitted patient or am I here as an observation? And most times they're hesitant to answer you. And I said, if I'm going to be observation, send me home. And if I'm going to be admitted, let me know. And usually I'm admitted.
And you are your own best advocate? Did you all hear what she said? You gotta, when it comes to healthcare, well, when it comes to anything, you really need to do a little bit of research and figure out what's the best avenue for you. So you are your own best advocate. If you can't do it for yourself, then you might want to get a child or somebody that you trust to kind of help you through the process. They make it more and more complicated, it seems, the older that you get, but that's just kind of, it seems that way. I'm not sure that's real, but you had a question.
Yes. If you want to withdraw from a provider for Part B Medicare, and because TRICARE for Life has been officially designated as a substitute for that, what is the procedure and what's acceptable?
We really have to go ask CMS that question because it's their thing. It's Medicare's decision on that. So if you're thinking of your own specific case, we'll figure it out as we move through the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lori, I have another question I got online.
Uh-huh.
States that I'm currently a full-time employee buying time through the payroll deduction. At retirement, I will have a balance owing for purchasing time. If the balance is paid from my 401k or 457, are taxes applied to that amount used to purchase the remainder time?
Again, it's not mine, that's ORS
Okay.
question, and it's called a TDP, I think is what she's got going on right now. What she wants to do, her final payment that she owes for that last little bit of time at the retirement time, I believe, and it's not my area, it's ORS, is that you can, as long as you don't touch it, the money, rolls from one plan to the other. Treasury probably knows this a whole lot better than
Yeah,
me.
it's an ORS question. Yeah.
That is the case, but it truly is an ORS question.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right, any other? You're welcome. I just kind of want to go through a little bit high level of what I handed out to you, just so you, and I'll be very brief because I don't want to hold these gentlemen up.
I think there was a question at the end of the table. Did you have
Oh,
your hand
I'm
up?
sorry.
Not a question. I wanted to compliment you on your presentation.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Some of this stuff you may not care about, but some of it you may. So I don't want to determine what you want and what you don't want. If you don't want what I've handed, just leave it on the table because Carolyn will use it at other places. But I do want to make that determination for you, what's important and what isn't. The power to make smart health choices. This is really good information to just kind of get web savvy with the Blue Cross web. And a lot of our retirees are in Blue Cross because the HMO rates aren't that great. They are if you're Medicare Advantage. I mean, it's really something you need to look at, but if this tells you where their discounts are on there, those discounts might be important to you. It might be something that you could use. So I just kind of like to hand this one out. Just when you got some time, look it over and decide if you want to go on there and use all the discounts that are available to you because you have that Blue Cross card.
What are you looking at, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I tried to hand these out. It's power to make smart health care choices.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay. The next one I'm going to go to is Go Paperless, BlueCrossBlueShield.com. All this one does is tell you if you want your EOBs not mailed to you in the U.S. mail anymore, you want them online, this is how you go about doing that. I do that, and the reason I do that is they keep 5 years there. I can't find 5 years of the EOBs in my house because I'm not that organized, but you all may be. And if I want to find one, I just have to click in here and I can find it. You can print it, you can do all kinds of things. I don't need the paper. I don't want the paper. I know that's not everybody. An opportunity if that's you. If you don't want the paper, you want to just have these. You can do this with your Delta Dental also. You can sign up to get your EOBs online with your Delta Dental. So you don't have that coming in.
Can you download that onto a CD and have it stay good?
I believe you can, but I have not tried it, so, but I believe that there's an opportunity there to do that. 24/7 online health care is the next one I was just going to go through. This just tells you that your insurance company is there for 24/7, how to do things. Online treating, this is part of your the telemedicine. You're not Medicare, you don't care about this. I mean, if you are Medicare, you don't care about this. It doesn't pertain to you. It's done on non-Medicare. 24/7 online. Oh, you need one. You're welcome. Understanding the language of healthcare. This is just a piece of information for you so that maybe you don't know what a deductible is. It just kind of tells you what do these terms mean. So it's just a definition. Managing your healthcare anytime, anywhere with a mobile app. We have a lot of retirees that have mobile apps. They like this. You don't have to carry your card. I do this with mine. I can just put my on my phone, on my mobile app on my phone. You can have a card on your phone, so you don't have to go through, dig into your purse to find the right card. May not be for you again, but it's there in case you want to. How to register for BlueCross.com. This is, if you've never logged in and become your own, it's a secured site so that you can read your EOBs, your plan design is there, everything, how your claims are processing and all of that kind of thing. This is how you do it. This is a step-by-step of how you register. I think I've gone through them all. They kind of got a little bit mixed up. 24/7 I did. You got one on, one's color and one isn't.
Oh.
I don't know why that.
I
Yes,
have a quick question.
sure.
On the one about the registering,
Yeah.
my husband has Blue Cross, but it's through Ford. Can I do that with his
Yes,
also?
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a quick, dumb question.
No dumb questions.
Okay, when does the deductible begin? Is it
When does the deductible begin? It always begins the first of every year.
January 1st?
January 1. Same with your dental. January 1.
Every question, a good question.
Makes no sense.
I don't want to take this anymore. I want these gentlemen
I think
to
it
be
means
able
like
to speak to
CFA
you.
or MBA.
If you have more questions, get them to Carolyn. She surely knows how to get to me. I'll be waiting for you to contact me, and we will talk. And you've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much. And when you retire, remember where we are. Of course, it'll be like Cheryl.